Hey up, it's Steve from that old Yorkshire Geek, and it's Wednesday, which I didn't realise, nearly forgot. Which means it's Andor Day, you can see there, Andor, up there. So, we're on episode 6, it's called The Eye. So let's just get on with it, shall we? Right, so it's been one of those days today, so if something goes wrong, you might see some jump cuts and stuff like that. It has been one of those days where everything that can go wrong has gone wrong. So if you see me moving about in jerky movements, it's because I'm editing and I've had to, edit out stuff that's gone wrong. I might edit this out or I might not. We'll see. Right, anyway. Let's get the show up. As I said, it's Andor. Right, here we go. Here's the previously on. This episode's called The Eye. Remember, The Eye is that celestial event that they're doing on Aldani. Well, I'd better get the cast list up because I can never remember the names. I should have done this beforehand, shouldn't I? But never mind. Whatever. Hey, are you working? No, because... Oh, God's sake. I tell you, it's one of those days today. It is one of those days today. Right, here we go. Here we go. Right, cast and characters, right, and we can see them now. There we go. There we go. Right. I'll probably edit that out. Where were we? By the way, welcome to the show. I thought I'd switch on my little box of tricks. We'll have one of these as well. Right, where have I put it? There we are. So, previously on, there's Luthen Rail, the Great Stellan Skarsgård, and it's just a previously on. You know what happened. By the way, there'll be full spoilers, as usual. There'll be full spoilers. And this was a good episode. This was probably the best episode so far, in my opinion. We actually see, the heist that they do, that gets done, and other things happen as well. So, good work. The best one so far. Right. It's still on the previously on. Right, so we should get to the titles now. There it is. There, the titles are coming on. As I said, I think I've been a bit harsh on this series. It was a bit of a, as I said, it's a slow burn. But this episode's good, and I think I'm starting to appreciate the slow burn. Is it in the spirit of George Lucas's Star Wars? Probably not, to be honest. Probably not. I think George might find it a bit boring, and he'd say, faster and more intensity, because that's what it could do with sometimes. But I'm starting to appreciate it now. It's hopefully it's getting on with it. Next week's episode will probably be another boring one. Now I've said that. Right, we're off. Right, there they are. There's Cassian. They're all dressed, by the way, as the Dani. I don't know how they don't call them the Aldani, because the planet's called Aldani, but they're just called the Dani, with the indigenous people. So that's their clothing. Obviously, it's very, what would you call it, Mongolian? Yeah, I suppose so. A Mongolian design, isn't it, I suppose. Not that it were filmed in Mongolia. Right, so anyway, they're getting ready. It's morning. Everybody's having the coffee. We see some Imperials in a few minutes. They're having their coffee. So it's first thing in the morning. It's all misty. In the misty mist. And it's not the dusky dusk because it's morning, isn't it? This is Nemik. I hope I've got that right. Let's have a just double check. Yes, Nemik. Oh, I got that right. There's Nemik, and he's telling Cassian that he now trusts him. He's glad he's on board because he was been up all night and he don't know if he'll be okay in the mission because he'll think he might be too tired. But Cassian says, "Oh, you'll be all right once we start. The excitement will kick in." And he says, "You'll be all right." And as soon as he said, "You'll be fine," to him, I thought, that's it. He's doomed. But we will see. So he's telling him about how he's been writing in his book. Remember, he's writing his manifesto. And he was writing about how the Rebel Alliance, could use mercenaries. And he says, he don't name him by name. He says, I didn't write you as Clem. But he says, I don't think that's your real name anyway. And he's right. But he does talk about mercenaries. But I don't think Cassian sees himself as a mercenary. He's just a bit of an opportunist, isn't he? And he's taking this opportunity to earn some money. I mean, 250,000 credits is being promised, haven't you, remember? So that's that. This is, he tells him he'll be fine. So the setup. Oh, these are the Dani. Can you see them? There's some in the distance there as well. And they're heading towards, remember the temple? There's an old temple in front of that big dam that the Imperials have, I presume they built it, where the heist is going to happen. So they're heading there, for the Eye, the celestial event. And this fella at the front, I didn't check the credits, but I could have sworn he was Bryan Cranston. He looks just like Bryan Cranston. I don't know if we'll see him. Hang on. We will see. Oh, no, we're not. We'll see him in a minute because he features. Right, so we'll get to the Imperials. This is, I can't remember his name. Is it going to tell us? Oh, I can't remember his name. Oh, it says David Heyman appears as the chieftain of the Aldani natives, so it's not Bryan Cranston. Right, this is Commandant. The fellow's Commandant J. Hold B. Has, played by Stanley Townsend, and he features quite heavily in this. So this is the Commandant J. Hold. So he's talking to the Imperial Engineers arrived. Who's a colonel? I don't know if he's got a name. Has he got a name? Let's have a look. I don't know. I can't see it here in the cast list. Obviously, it will be there somewhere, but I can't see it. It might not even warrant a credit. He does, of course he does. But I can't see it. I can't remember his name. Anyway, he's talking to the colonel, and they're talking about the Eye and all that. Oh, there he is. That's does he look like Bryan Cranston, or does he not look like Bryan Cranston? I think that is Bryan Cranston. It isn't, though. It's David Heyman. But it looks just like Bryan Cranston to me. So they're on the way. There you go. And they said, not the Commandant. The Commandant says, in years past, there'd have been 15,000 of them heading to the temple. But now there's only about 60 left. I think he said they set off with about 500, and there's about 60 left in this column that's heading towards the temple, because the Imperials have built towns and stuff and basically distracted the population, so they're not as interested in the Eye anymore. So that's what's happening here. They're all drinking the coffee. Look, there he is. I think Gorn's there in the background. Remember, he's on our side. He's a goodie. There they are with the coffee, look. From Mr. Coffee. I wonder if one of these in the back is Mr. Coffee. That's all that churning and bubbling. Spaceballs reference. Anyway, so Gorn, we find out that Gorn's been there for 7 years. So that's a long while, isn't it? Right, here we are, the outside of the structure. I think that's the main control room up there. It looks impressive, doesn't it? And it's kind of atmospheric. I must admit, they've done the effects are done well, so that can't be really there, can it? That's got to be probably CG. This might be a real dam somewhere, but the bits added on probably in CG. But it looks good, and it looks atmospheric. You get the impression that it's cold. It's a cold morning, a cold misty morn. But there's a gun there. Look, you just see it there. The gun emplacement there. There we go. Yeah. Right. So the Commandant is coming out, ready to to greet the natives, the Dani, and he's basically, come on, let's get it over with, sort of thing. Let's carry on. Anyway, these are the checking the radios. That's Tamarin. He's checking. They've got an old Imperial radio that they're using for comms, and they've got to just get the tuning right. So they do that because Lev, is it Lev? I can't remember the names. Is it Lev? Vel. I was close. I got it wrong way around. Vel and Sinta. They're heading towards the base. They're doing their own thing, and Cassian and Tamarin and Skeen and Nemik, they have to go and pretend to be Imperial officers or Imperial soldiers. They're doing their bit. That's what's happening there. So they're getting into contact with Vel and Sinta. There we go. That's the radio that they're using, and they get that going. Vel and Sinta are in there. I wonder if that's a real. It can't be a real, standing stone thing, can it? It looks it, doesn't it? It looks real, but I bet it isn't. It's probably bloody polystyrene or something. But you get an impression of where they are. Look, they're on the other side of the dam with the lake there. So what they've got to do, essentially they go swimming. They swim across. They've got bit James Bond style. They've got some machine that can pull them through the water, so through the water. Sound effects. So they go there, still testing the radio. Right, so they set off in their Dani garb. They don't wear it for long, I must admit. I don't even think they joined the column of Dani. Not that I noticed, anyway. They get the Imperial togs on before long. But I suppose they dress like that in case they encounter any, like Imperial patrols or something. Here's Vel and Sinta ready in their slinky mission gear. There they are. And there's an impression, you get an impression. Oh, there we go. There's the thing that they're going to use to pull themselves through the water. And you get the impression later on, in a bit, that there's something going on between them. So, is this a bit of diversity in the, not only, racial diversity, but sexual diversity going on. You just get that impression. I might be wrong. There it is. He's got his Canon his Canon camera there. It looks like it, doesn't it? I don't think so. So anyway, so there's Gorn checking on his soldiers. Got to make sure everything's in place. So here comes Bryan Cranston and his mates. I know it's not him, but they're told, the Imperial soldiers are told, let them through. Don't start with them. We're here to keep the peace, basically. Don't kick off. Let them through. Let them come and do their thing. So that's what they do. And we go. Here they are, all dressed up now in their Imperial outfits, pretending to be a unit that's come from. I can't remember the name of it. There's a town. From the nearest town, I presume it is, where the Aldani have come from. They've been sent from there as additional troops. Here we go. Here's Lev and Sinta. Some Imperial soldiers rock up, so they have to hunker down for a minute or two while they pass by. Here's Bryan Cranston. They're heading there. Anyway, the upshot is, right, so they all end up at by the way, there's the commandant with his wife and his son. And they seem like nice enough people. And to be honest, he don't seem like a bad person, really. He's an Imperial, yeah, but he don't seem evil. Not to me, anyway. I suppose he's not the nicest person in the universe, seeing as he's an Imperial officer, but he doesn't seem evil. So he's got a family, obviously, and he's trying to fasten his dress clothing, but saying it's shrunk. And his wife's saying, well, maybe you've expanded slightly. So anyway, they have to go down and greet the Darnie. And they've got to the exchange goat skins, and he complains about them being a bit smelly, but he said, come on, let's get on with it. And he's hoping that if they impress the Imperial engineer that's there, that they'll hopefully get a transfer to somewhere nicer, because he's fed up of being there. I think he's been there for 7 years as well, at least. So anyway, so here we go, here the soldiers marching in, escorting the Darnie. There they are, there's Brian. I'm just going to keep calling him Brian, I'm sorry. And here's the others, all looking very new age and a bit hip. I bet they've got crystals and all sorts under there. There's Nemik and Cassian. Cassian's really, hamming it up, innit? Throwing himself into the role by the looks of it. And I think here we see the event begins. We see. Are we gonna see it? No, just got a glimpse of it there. The event begins. We start seeing, I presume, the meteors, or there's something that's flashing through the atmosphere. We're gonna see it. Yeah, they're getting ready to go in the water, but we're gonna. There it goes. Look, hey, and another one. They're watching as well. Cool uniforms. Cool sets. So it's very impressive, very atmospheric, all the mist over the mountains and stuff. I think this is Scotland, isn't it? I think this was filmed in Scotland. Or somewhere like that in the UK. The Lake District. Places like that, but I think it's Scotland. Right, so they're getting ready, they're letting the Darnie get on with it, and then he tells the other troops to stay there, and then he says, Troop C or whatever it is, Cassian's troop, they have to come with him up to escort the commandant and his family down. So that's what they do. Off they go up to the dam. Here we go. There, here come doing my sound effects again. There they are through the water. Very James Bond. Here's Gorn bringing the goat skin to the commandant. He complains about it being a bit smelly. He's not happy, is he? Right, so they're ready. So here he is. So anyway, so Gorn, by the way, can speak the Aldani language. They don't, they're not speaking English or standard or whatever they call it in Star Wars. But Gorn can speak their language. It says a lot that Gorn has learnt their language and the commandant hasn't, if they've been there for the same length of time, because Gorn later on tells him, I've spent 7 years here with you, so they've been there at least the same length of time. But Gorn has learned the language, the commandant hasn't. So he's translating, and they're doing all this, Bryan Cranston, I know it's not him, says he kind of insults him a little bit, but Gorn doesn't translate it as such. He says, he says, you're welcome here, blah, 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 let's get on with it. By the way, we find out that Tamarin used to be a stormtrooper. That's his backstory, so that's interesting. And he switched sides. We also learned that Cinta's family were all murdered by stormtroopers. Her whole family were wiped out by stormtroopers. So that's why she's in the fight. Right, so this is an Imperial officer. He's like the comms officer. He plays a major role shortly. Because he does his job right. He does. Vel. I can't remember. It is Vel, isn't it? Vel's placed a device near the comms place, where that little bit there where the chap is. She's placed a device there that's going to disrupt all the communications and just leave one line open that they use for communications. So that's what she's done there. She's done that. She's run back here and hunkered down, and they've just got to wait for that. And that, it's like she's having second thoughts, and Tamarin speaks. They're using the comms, and he says, "How we go?" And eventually she says, yes, we'll go. It seems like she's having second thoughts. This is Bryan Cranston and I can't see him, but never mind. The commandant exchanging smelly goat skins. So that's what they do. And this is Vel. That's it. Looking a bit. She's nervous. You would be nervous, wouldn't you? But she's nervous. But anyway, they decide they're going to go for it. So they go. They finish up here. Head back. Everything's happy. Said the commandant thinks he's doing his job. He's keeping the peace, keeping the natives happy. The natives still hate him because it's the Empire. But anyway, so they set off back, and Cassian's troop escort them. And Lieutenant Gorn, he's called Lieutenant in this. Well, the commandant, that's how he says it, Lieutenant. Bryan throws the goat skin on the fire. It's a part of their ritual. Or maybe it's just because he doesn't like the Imperials. Something happened there. No, it's just an establishing shot. Right, so they get inside, and that's when the guns come up, and once the doors closed, so that's it. Right, everybody down. This is a stick up. That's what happens here. So they get everybody down. Obviously, the commandant's wife and kid are scared. But the Imperial colonel, pulls a gun on Nemik and tells them to, drop their guns, or, Nemik's going to cop for it. But it don't last long because Cinta arrives in a minute. But I've gone too far. There we go. See, got Nemik. And then, pew, pew. There we go. Pew. So he looked dead, didn't he, as he went down. He did the old Greedo thing there, didn't they? He got, Cinta shot first, and then I think they shot about the same time, but Cinta's blast hit him, and so he was just about to shoot Nemik, but it missed. So that's the colonel done with. He obviously hears the noise and wonders if everything's okay, but it is. This officer here says, everything all right, sir? He says, yes, go and watch the eye. So off he goes. So they have to go in now. Oh, they're carrying on with it. Bryan and his mates are doing their ritual thing. So these lot, they get the commandant and take him down to the vault, and the commandant's saying, no, you can't do this. He's been like him in Die Hard, saying, I can't open the vault, but they know that he can. So they take him down, and they leave somebody, I can't remember, I think they leave Cinta behind to guard the others. So they all head down to the vault. Pardon me. To leave Cinta there. Cinta, I think, gets left behind completely. I don't know where she goes. Maybe she blends into the native crowd at the end. I don't know. Or she just, I don't know. But we don't see what happens to her, as you will see. Oh, that's the device that Vel planted. It goes off and cuts off all the communications. So this is when the heist really gets underway. Right, so the chaps serving drinks, they don't know what's about to happen. He goes, yeah, get down, this is a stick up, you blummin' lummy. So that's what happens here. They're all doing their ritual things, switching off all the stuff with good old Imperial button pushing. He's saying, you'll never get away with this. Ah, well, whatever. We will. Right, he realises he's talking to somebody. Another soldier's running up, says, is your comms down? Says, yeah, it is weird, isn't it? Is it the eye? I think maybe there's some sort of interference from the events that's going on in the sky. So he gets a squad of troops together and decides to investigate. He's doing his job right. He's that officer. Anyway, this lot's heading down. Here we go. Hang on, I've gone too far, haven't I? Heading down into the vault. There we go. And there's Imperial workers, I suppose, down there. They were playing cards. I don't know if they were playing Sabak. I don't know, but they were playing cards. It could have been Uno for all I know. But they get roped in, at gunpoint to load up the transport. There they are. They use the commandant to open the vault. And this is Nemik's trying to work out the escape route. He's got to plot a flight path through the eye. I don't know how he works that out. I don't know, because it seems pretty random to me, but that's his job. That's what he's got that for. It looks like a sextant, doesn't it? But there you go. Here we go. This is all the containers with all the Imperial credits in. It looks like gold pressed latinum when we see it. So don't tell Quark. Right, this officer's... he knows something's up now, because he's been going through the frequencies, and he finds out that the only line is the line through to the city, which name I can't remember. But then he hears the rebels, talking to each other, and oh crikey! And they talk about the vault, so he knows that's where something's going down. So he gets a squad of soldiers and heads down there, and it's all jolly exciting, and it actually is. I'm not lying. So they're still doing their thing. The natives, human natives. By the way, apparently there's going to be no aliens. Apparently, in this, it's got all humans. From what I've read, I don't know if that's true or not. First season at least, all humans. No alien species. I mean, technically they're all aliens, aren't they? Because it's in a galaxy far, far away. But you know what I mean. They're all humans. This is Gorn arriving. Whatever. Checking out stuff. Right, we've got this chap here. He's coming with his squad. They're heading down. And the fella says, "What about the eye?" So never mind the bloody eye. He doesn't say bloody, but right, they're loading up the transport with all the loot. They're still doing their rituals. There it is. Some of it gets dropped and it all spills out, and that's how you know. It looks like gold pressed latinum. In a moment. There we go. Oh, they're running behind time a little bit, but they're getting on with it. These are the soldiers coming down the stairs. It says, "Watch your step." I thought one of them's going to fall over, but they don't. These people look concerned for some reason. I don't know why. Do they know something's going on? I don't know. But actually, all the lights go off, I think, in a bit. Cinta switches all the lights off. She might be going to do that shortly. Or she might have done it already outside, but the lights are still on down there. That's why they were looking. All right. He says, realise Gorn's a traitor, and that's when he says, he says, "You'll hang for this." He says, "Well, it's a good price to pay for after putting up with 7 years of you." Ooh, burn. It's not looking well, is he? His commandant, and it looks like he has a heart attack. He grabs his left arm and he keels over in a bit. So, don't know if they'll. Cool shots, by the way. Yeah, I don't know if he'll survive or not. I don't know, but cool shots of TIE fighter pilots doing their thing and getting into the ships. Look, it's all cool. Look at that. Just opens it up and jumps in. Did. Cool stuff. And it don't linger, it just gets on with it. So they're still loading up. The other soldiers appeared now. Yep, right, the other soldiers have appeared now. So all start shooting soon. And what's going on here? It says it's a secret mission. Not secret mission. Classified mission, but I don't believe it. Shooting starts, it all kicks off. Tamarin cops for it. Cassian gets on board, and one of the Imperial workers gets on, and they have a fight, look. So they're fighting. Nemik's pinned down. But he does a good job, you know. He apports himself well, even though he was nervous at the start. You know, he does his job and does a good job. Here the TIE fighter pilots, they're getting ready to launch. Look, pressing buttons and stuff. Don't know how I'm doing music, but it's exciting. It's cool. Look, it's boy stuff. There we go. Look at that. Cool. Don't know why we're all green inside, or was that just reflecting from outside? I don't know. But this is Cassian still fighting this fella. Vel's pinned down. Cassian's still fighting him. More explosions. Good old Nemec gives them some cover. I think gives Vel some cover, I think, and or gives somebody some cover. Shoots the fella that were fighting Cassian. Nemec shoots him, so he gives him a nod. Meanwhile, Tamarin's being shot. I think he's dead. He looks dead. There's the gold press lighting him on the floor. Look. I think he's dead because they don't go back for him. So I presume he's been shot dead. So that's very sad. Anyway, so Cassian fires the ship up. I still don't know why they've got to have it launching on a rail. I don't know. I think they've got anti-grav and stuff like that, haven't they? Unless it's old technology, I don't know. But they all get on board and they set off, look. Off they go. Oh, there's I think that's Tamarin that they're leaving behind. But they all get hit with the thrust. So they're on the way now, look. They're on the way. Meanwhile, the eye, that's going on, look. Oh, they're all tied up. They set off. When they set off, they haven't had time to secure everything properly, and one of these trolleys or whatever, it moves back and it squashes, well, not squashes, but crushes Nemec. So he's badly injured. But they need him because, remember, he's got to work out their flight path through the eye. So Vel gives him a med thing, a morphine. It's basically morphine. It's like Saving Private Ryan, give it to him. Some morphine. So she gives him some of that. So he can function. He can't walk. Says he can't feel his legs. Here we go. She's giving him the this med stim or whatever they call it. I don't know. So that's what they're doing. The TIE fighters are after them up. There's the eye doing its stuff. There they are. Fighter pilots. Right, he's working out here their flight path. I don't know how he's doing this, but he says to him, climb and then dive and then climb and all that. But it looks pretty random what's going on outside, so I don't know how he's working it out. But he does his job. And TIE fighters start shooting at him. If we'll see it in a minute. Here we go. Presses fire. Go on. There we go. Pew, 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 pew. So they're shooting at them, but not hitting them. But the TIE fighters get got by all, because they don't know what flight path to use like the good guys do, so they get taken out by all the stuff in the atmosphere. So that's what happens there. It's all there we go. They're very exciting. I think one's blown up. There's just two left now. There's Cinta. Look, she's got dressed up in the Imperial uniform, so she comes out now. Is she going to blend in with Imperials and get off planet? I don't know. I presume that's what's going to happen. Is there a rendezvous point? Don't know. We will see. So they're watching that. I don't think anybody realises exactly what's gone on inside. She's watching the eye happening and crying because it's wonderful. Yeah. There we go, look. But they've escaped, look. Hey! So they get away. Hey! Don't see them going to hyperspace, but anyway. So they've a choice to make now. Vel seems to want to let Nemik die for some reason, but Skeen says he knows they've got a doctor, sort of like worked into the plans. If anything went wrong, they know where there's a doctor. So Cassian, who's obviously flying the ship, says, well, let's get him to the doctor then. So they do that. Don't show him getting there. Next thing you know, he's there, as we will see in a minute. I say, don't show him going to hyperspace. Is it in the same system? Is it somewhere else? I don't know. Don't make that clear. But they need to get Nemik to a doctor. And so that's what they do. There he is. Here's the doctor. We saw him I think we saw him in the trailers, didn't we? Wondering, people saying, "Oh, he's the same species as I forgot her name from Rise of Skywalker." Not Rise of Skywalker. The sequel trilogy. They're big glasses. Oh, I forgot her name now. But he's not. He's Dr. Quadpaw. That's what he's called in the subtitles that came on. Dr. Quadpaw, because he's got 4 arms. How original. So anyway, so he's seen to Nemik, but he can't save him, and Nemik dies, which is sad. As I said, Cassian said he'd be fine, so he was doomed from that instant, wasn't he? But he did his job. He saved Cassian's life, and he also got him out of there, so he saved all the lives that were left. Meanwhile, Cassian's outside having a chat with Skeen, and we find out that Skeen's not a nice guy. He's not in it for the rebellion. He's a scoundrel. 'Cause last episode, he told Cassian that he joined up because his brother were murdered by the Imperials. But then we find out he says he don't even have a brother. I thought here he were testing Cassian. Maybe he was, I don't know. But he says to Cassian, "Do you know how much is in that ship?" And it's 80 million credits. So he says, "We'll split it, 40 million each. You go your way, I'll go mine. And never mind the others." And I thought he was testing Cassian, but Cassian don't give him chance to get to the end of his spiel because he shoots him. So Skeen's dead. They did talk for quite a while. The plan that he had for stealing all the money. But there we go. See, I've gone too far now, look. So Cassian pulls out his gun and just shoots him dead. So that's the end of Skeen. I mean, what if we were just testing him? What if we were just saying, "No, I'm just seeing if you're really with us"? Didn't give him his chance, did he? He just killed him. So he goes inside, finds out that Nemik hasn't made it, and he says, I did my best, and she's thanking the doctor, saying, "I know you did your best, so." But he must have been too badly injured in with the thing that's crushed him, and he's passed away. So anyway, Cassian comes in and he says he'll give there's a ship parked, apart from their ship. He says, "I'll give you 30,000 credits for it," and he just wants what he were promised, which were 250,000, and he's going to go his way, let them go their way. So that's that. So there's just Vel left now, isn't there? Vel and Cinta, the only ones that have survived, isn't it, from the original group. And Cassian, obviously, but he's not part of their group yet. He's not with the Rebel Alliance. So this is where he's saying, he's going to go his own way now. Oh, and she gives him Nemik's manifesto, his book he were writing, and he says, "I don't want it." And she said, "No." He insisted that she give it to him, give it to Cassian. So he takes that. So I presume he's going to read that and then realise the error of his ways and join the rebellion. Oh, about me. So that's what happens there. Right, we cut to Coruscant. We're at is it ISB headquarters. We're all people running about, and then the Major Partagaz, is that his name, is saying, "I want everybody's information, everybody's situations on my desk, as quickly as possible, because there's been an incident, but it doesn't make it clear exactly what's going on. But I think it could be just that the Empire's clamping down now. I suspect we're getting close. I know it's supposed to be 5 years before the events of A New Hope, or thereabouts. But I think the Empire is starting to tighten its grip now on all the star systems. Because we see the Senate in a minute. There we go. We're at the Imperial Senate. See a lot of empty, whatever they're called, hovering things. And Mon Mothma's giving a speech, basically to herself, because nobody's listening, and people start walking out. See, most of them are empty. The Senate, it doesn't perform any purpose anymore, and she realises this. And it gets dissolved, doesn't it? During the time of A New Hope. So we find out that the Emperor permanently dissolves the Senate. So it's pretty much useless now anyway. So that's when she realises that. She's talking away and everybody's walking out. So then we go to Luthen in his shop, and they're trying to sell this woman a necklace. And this chap over here, you can't see him because of my fat head. Hang on, let's get rid of myself. There we go, that fella there. He pipes up about, have you anything from Aldani? And he immediately gets suspicious and thinks, why would you say that? And then he says, hang on, the other fella says, oh, for crying out loud, I'll get there. I'll find him. I'll find him in a minute. There we go. He says, there's been a big rebel attack on Aldani. So it's in the news. So Luthen says, well, I'll see if I've anything in the back. So he goes in the back, and then the fella shouts, I'm only kidding, for some reason. And then he goes in the back and starts laughing. So I presume everybody can hear him in the front, because there's no door closed. So what's he laughing for? So he's laughing his ass off, and then it ends. So I don't know what he's laughing for. I know, because he knows the job's being done. But everybody's dead, apart from Vel and Cinta. And Cassian, who's gone his own way. But I am sure he will be along shortly. So that's that. That's the end of the episode 6. And it was really good. I really enjoyed it. The best one so far. I'm starting to come round. I've been a bit hard on it, been a bit dull. But this episode was good. Good action, a good heist, and it had a good atmosphere, and it was gripping. And it actually a lot like Rogue One, to be honest. It had them feels. It had the Rogue One feels. Everybody died, nearly. Spoilers for Rogue One. But yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. I'd give that one an 8 out of 10, because there were no stormtroopers. But there were TIE Fighter pilots, and TIE Fighters did something again. So that was good. So yeah, we'll leave it there. A good episode. I don't know what next week's episode is. Does it say? Let's have a look on Wikipedia. No, it don't say. It don't say. Never does. Never does. Don't even give a synopsis. Never mind. Let's have a look, see if it says anywhere else. Let's see if it says anywhere else. Andor episodes. There we go. See if it says on good old Google. It'll be episode 7 next week, won't it? Does it say? Nah, it doesn't say. Doesn't say, but there's a promotional trailer. Let's have a look and see what that's. Obviously, I'll not play it for you. I will just have a look and see if it says anything. Oh, is this a real trailer? Oh heck, I don't know if I should describe it to you. We saw some, I think they were clone troopers, and then we see Vader. Ooh. I will knock the sound off. See Vader.
Soon enough. These days will end.
It's a lot of shots we've seen already, actually. Actually, we saw a bit of Rogue One there. I don't think this is a proper trailer. I don't think this is a proper trailer because they showed a clip from Rogue One. Bit of Saw Gerrera. No, stuff with. I don't think this is a real trailer. So there, I think they're fibbing. Unless it's Disney that's just trying to rope people in. Anyway, so yeah, but there were a Vader shot. I don't think we're not going to see Vader in this, are we? Surely not. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. Right, we'll leave it there. What did I say? 8 out of 10 for this one. Jolly good episode. I hope it carries on getting better. But this were good. So wherever you are in the universe, look after each other. And until next time, hang on. Till next time, I'm going to edit it. I'll say the